It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, what is today? 23rd day of June, 2025, coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia. A new little certificate up on the wall back there, as I'm now a recognized expert on New Orleans. Not sure what that means, but I got another certificate to stick on the wall. Not the biggest news day in the world, but we got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. So let me first say, welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. Of course, today's show is brought to you by the 2025 World Cruise on Crown Princess, by Will US, the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie's Cruises. We have some news stories today. Not a lot, but we got a bunch of stuff. We're going to probably fill up the hour with extras today. The headlines today: a fourth pier in Cozumel is on hold again. Also this morning, more U.S. airlines suspend Mideast flights. Drone images show a trail left by, I got BCL Viva, NCL Viva. A little typo there in my script. Biofuel in Italy for the first time. ASTA pushes back. Thank goodness for them. Seabourn captain passes, and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today is National Detroit Pizza Day. I don't know if any of you know the difference between Detroit pizza and your pizza down at the corner. Detroit pizza is a square. It's made in a square. It's cut and served in a square. It's kind of deep dish-ish. Okay? It's a little different, but it's pizza. I'm sorry, folks. I like pizza. I don't care if it's what kind or is or isn't. I just like pizza. So, yeah, when I've been in Detroit, I've had Detroit pizza before, and it's pretty good. Chicago pizza is good. Pittsburgh pizza is good. Philadelphia pizza is good. Of course, New York's got the probably the oldest in this country, and they claim the best. I like all of it. I'm easy with pizza. Anyway, today's Detroit style pizza day. This one was shocking to me. Our day in history today. In 1784, and of course that's a little bit older than I am, a 13-year-old, folks, 13, get the age? 13-year-old Edward Warren makes the first balloon flight in the U.S. 13 years old. I'm thinking, yeah, they were afraid that the thing would get off the ground and it would sink, so they put a lightweight kid up there hoping that it wouldn't fall out of the sky or something. Why would you put a 13-year-old up in the air in a balloon for the first time? I don't get that one. All right, so anyway, if you're listening by the podcast, you're in for trouble today. No, I'm kidding. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the old fat guy. We do this regularly on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I monitor what's happening on other days, and sometimes I do shows, and sometimes I don't. Same thing when I'm traveling. Several people have asked me, when my next cruise is and stuff. Right now, I don't have anything booked until October. and that's a shorty. A shorty Carnival. I haven't been on Carnival for a year and a half or so. So it's a Carnival cruise. So anyway, I'm just I don't have a lot booked, and that's okay. Got some other things that I want to do. And one thing, I pretty much have to be tied here to the house because of my personal situation here. But because I'm generally sometime every day, I have things that I have to do as far as my sister's concerned and the family. So and trying to help out Amanda. I mean, how Amanda is doing everything she's doing is unbelievable. So I'm trying to take some load off of her. I mean, admittedly there's not a whole lot I can do, but I can, make some phone calls. I can do a little bit. So anyway, all right. So I'm going to start off today on a personal basis. Last night I got a little bit out of my comfort zone. As most of you know, I went to a Magic of Motown concert. It was down at the what do you call the thing now? I can't even think of it. But anyway, it was downtown in a theater that I've never been in. Why it became out of my comfort zone? I rarely get in my car, load my chair, get in my car, drive someplace, unload, get out, do something, get back in, load the chair up, get back in the car, drive back home, and be in a crowd. I just, I don't mind crowds on cruise ships, but I'm just not real comfortable in crowds, around here. I rarely go out to eat anymore. We bring it in. But anyway, I saw Jason and Katie when they were here, my son and granddaughter. They went to a show down there at the Academy of the Arts Theater. That's what it was called. And Jason, they do theaters constantly because he goes to see all kinds of different music venues. Hi, Glenda. And, I got interested at least finding out where he went, and come to find out that there was this Motown show last night. Well, I'm a Motown fanatic. I came along at that perfect period, and I was in college, and from 67 to 71 was involved with all the concerts we did, which was heavy in Motown in those days. So I got to do stuff with a number of the groups. I interviewed a number of them. And so I said, man, I'm going to go to that show. So I got a ticket. They have a nice setup for disabled. And so I went. So let's see if I might have a few things here to share with you from that. Where does it start? It starts right here. I'm at the Academy Center for the Arts in downtown Lynchburg for tonight's Magic of Motown. I hope the air conditioner's on in there because it's hot out here. It's about 95. But anyway, the ticket office is going to be open shortly. So I'm going to grab my tickets and head inside. Looking forward to a great show tonight. They're setting up the snack bar and the bar and stuff inside. They let me in because it was so hot. So I sat in the air conditioner for a half hour before it actually opened. Which was very nice of them. And then I may have had a drink or two. It's very possible. I wouldn't mention it if I didn't. This is the theater as it's filling up. All right, so by the way, it ended up filling, I think, all the way. I didn't see any empty seats, at least on the first level. I couldn't see upstairs, but it looked like big crowd. So, all right, so let's see what I've got on this end of it. This was, that's me. Oh yeah, that's inside after they opened the doors and started letting people in. Oh, I see my straw there. So I had my adult beverage in hand and was rolling around looking at the place a little bit. See how nice that lobby area is? That's really nice. This was the original sign from back when the theater in the 1800s opened. There was also upstairs slave quarters from the original theater. I didn't know that was here. I had no idea that. This was an old piano that was obviously used through the years in the theater for musical groups. And then I guess we got into the show. So Mary Wells, she was kind of like the MC, did a couple numbers and was like the MC. There was some of the old time folks, some of the people were had fill-ins. Some obviously have died as well. This would be the Four Tops. Man, I can't think. Martha and the Vandellas, maybe. Let's see who else we got here. That's the Temps. The Temps was one of the main stars of the show. Now you'll notice there's 4. One of the Temps has passed away, so they only have 4. That was Smokey. One of my only disappointment for the night, they didn't do, he only did one song. It wasn't the song that I liked the most. A little disappointed with Smokey. Aretha killed it. She was just phenomenal. Now, when I say that some of the old folks were there and some were not the regular folks, you'll see as we continue on here. No, that's this one. And of course, that's Diana Ross and the Supremes. Now, the gal in the middle, which was playing Diana Ross's part, was not Diana Ross. That's actually Mary Wells' granddaughter, okay? Because Diana Ross is over there on the other side of the pond. She's doing a concert tonight. Now, let me see if I can find it now on my list here. Tonight, she's in Motor Point Arena in Nottingham. Wednesday, she's in Glasgow, Scotland, Manchester on Thursday. Saturday, she's in Leeds. On the 30th, she's in Liverpool. And then on July the 2nd, she's in London. So she's over there for a series of concerts. So needless to say, she wasn't in Lynchburg last night. Okay. But Mary Wells' granddaughter was just awesome. Skinny little thing. But now you also got to keep in mind some of the folks that were doing this, guys, are older than me and were just awesome on stage. They were really, really good. Let's see what else we got here. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
All right. But it's definitely audience participation. I would love to hear everybody. You guys all right with singing with me this evening? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so that's Diana Ross again, Mary Wells' granddaughter. That's Diana Ross. Folks, it was a fantastic show. I had fun. I sang. I clapped. I hollered. The only thing I couldn't do was get up and dance. And some people did. They were up in the aisles dancing. It was just, I mean, considering, that's a lot of folks my age and older that were there. And it was pretty rocking for a bunch of old folks, I'll tell you that. So if you get a chance to go see this show, go. It's absolutely terrific. I will definitely start following the schedule down there and go to more shows. That's a pain in my butt to get there and what I have to go through. But yeah, I can definitely stand supporting activities like that around here. It was terrific. It really was. It was a great night, fun night. I had a couple cocktails. I had to tell them, weak, make it weak. Don't make it too strong. I got to drive home. All right, I'll be back with the news, folks, after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, before I get on with the news, I do have, excuse me, one message from Nate. And I attempted to, I had an audio of the captain giving the announcement, and I could not duplicate it for the show today. I was in a weird position, in a weird place. I couldn't download it. It was just a mess, which could be me. But anyway, I couldn't get it up. But basically, they hit really bad weather after they left Mauritius. They had to steer away from one storm. Another storm is moving in. They are supposed to get to J-Town, Johannesburg, South Africa tomorrow. I believe it is tomorrow and Thursday. No, Wednesday and Thursday. That's now going to be delayed. They're going to go into an Eastern Africa port, perhaps tonight or tomorrow, and let the storm clear off. They still hope to get into Johannesburg because that's clearly one of the highlights of the cruise. And it was supposed to be an overnight, so they're trying to work on all that. But they've had just really crappy weather. And for a seasoned traveler like Nate, to be talking constantly about the crappy weather and how rough it is on the boat, he's having a rough time. He did get moved. He was up in the very front cabin, and he thought that might have been part of the issue. So they did move him to another cabin. I mean, I personally like being on the front of the boat, but I've not been on the front of a boat in really bad seas like he's seen now several times. So that's on the World Cruise. There's still some openings, folks. If you want to jump on in London to New York, or New York to Auckland, or London to Auckland, give me a call. 434-258-9264. Be glad to take care of it for you. All right. So, oh yeah, that was one other thing I wanted to show you. I call this Katie's Beach. And there's absolutely nobody on the beach. Of course, I claim that that's so Katie can go skinny dipping. Yeah, that's what I claim. There may not be any truth to that because that's pretty cold water up there. Actually, that's a private beach. And so Katie doesn't really have clearance to go on that beach all the time, although I think she does. But anyway, that's a private beach up there on Martha's Vineyard. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We got some news to talk about. We're going to go down and this issue with Cozumel with this fourth pier. It's getting crazy. Continuing years of yes, no debate, environmental studies, approval grants, challenges, and pauses. The much discussed fourth cruise ship pier in Cozumel is once again on hold. According to Mexican News Daily, the project is being debated yet again, this time just 2 months after receiving approval from the Environmental Ministry. An injunction against the project was filed June 13th, and a new environmental impact study must be undertaken. Multiple major U.S. airlines are suspending flights to parts of the Middle East as tensions escalate between Israel, Iran, and the U.S., leaving travelers and officials alike adjusted to rapidly changing conditions in the region. United has temporarily suspended nonstop service between Newark and Dubai. The airline cited the conflict as the reason for the pause, but has not provided a timeline when flights may resume. Newark, of course, is the only hub with direct service to Dubai. American Airlines is also temporarily halting its route between Philadelphia and Doha, Qatar. A spokesman told CBS that the last flight left early Thursday. Suspensions are expected at least to continue through the weekend. Delta took similar action last week, suspending its flights from New York's JFK to Tel Aviv. The carrier said service will remain grounded at least through August the 31st. The move comes in the face of heightened military action in the region. Israel's major international hub, Ben Gurion Airport, is currently closed, and airspace restrictions have expanded to include Israel, Jordan, Iran, and Iraq. Meanwhile, international carriers such as Emirates, Etihad Airways, and Lufthansa have all sealed back their operations in the area. The Saturday bombing by the U.S. is likely to increase cancellations. Are you planning on a trip to the land of the rising sun in the near future? Scoot Around, powered by Will, is excited to announce that we now have mobility scooters and electric wheelchairs available for rent in select locations across Japan, including major tourist destinations like Tokyo. You can book online today or call Scoot Around at 888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137 or call me at 434-258-9264 for a mobility scooter or power wheelchair in Japan. Recent drone footage captured in the port of Volos in Greece has sparked debate about the departure of the cruise ship Norwegian Viva. Images show a stark trail of murky brownish water left behind the massive vessel as it sailed through the clear blue sea. The striking discoloration has led to mixed reactions online. Some social media users jokingly referred to it as a farewell gift, implying that the ship may have released waste into the water. Others, however, argued that the plume was simply sediment stirred up by the ship's powerful propellers as it navigated through the harbor. Large ships like Norwegian Viva can churn up sand and silt from the seabed, especially in shallower waters. Local officials have yet to comment on whether they will investigate the incident. Meanwhile, the viral images have reignited discussions about the ecological footprint of massive cruise ships and the need for stricter monitoring in busy ports. All right, so I got just one comment to make, folks. It's not what those people are trying to hint at. That's silt stirred up. If there had been a spill of any type, that's not the way it would spread in the water, number one, because the ship is moving forward. That's where it's churned up dirt silt from the bottom. They might be in a little lighter, not as deep as they thought. But anyway, just saying, it's not waste. I promise you. Where was I? Whether you're relaxing on the beach, visiting a theme park, or touring Hollywood, summer is a great time to visit the LA area. Need some additional mobility support for your trip? We're offering discounts on scooter and wheelchair rentals for Anaheim, LA, and Disneyland until the end of August. Just give us a call toll free at 888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137 or call me direct 434-258-9264. The American Society of Travel Advisors, ASTA, is once again pushing back against the Trump administration's latest move to potentially expand the current travel ban. The White House recently demanded action from 36 additional countries within 60 days to avoid being added to a list of 12 countries receiving a full ban and 7 others facing restrictions on travel. Among those on this new list are Antigua, St. Kitts, Dominica, and St. Lucia, places we cruisers go on a regular basis. According to ASTA and the organization's president and CEO, Zane Kirby, the list includes countries that include multiple destinations that are vital to business and leisure travel. What's more, the bans can lead to reciprocal bans for American travelers, or at least generate harmful perceptions that can put a damper on international travel. So far, there's been no additional actions involving the 36, and maybe the president has something else on his mind. All right, so I had someone wanted to know, well, what are the 36 countries? I mean, I just mentioned a couple of them that we go to all the time. So the 36 that he's considering smacking with are Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Bhutan, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Dominica, Ethiopia, Egypt, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Kyrgyzstan, Liberia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Tonga, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. All right, those are the 36 demands thinking about putting more travel restrictions on. I don't know. I'm staying out of it until it happens. All right, so let's see where was I? Good heavens, I got sidetracked there after ASTA. Starting in 2027, travelers staying overnight in Glasgow will see a small increase on their accommodation bill as the Scottish city officially moves forward with a new tourist tax. It's intended to help generate funds for public services and local infrastructure, with the city aiming to raise around 16 million euros annually. The tax will add 5% to the cost of overnight stays in overnight accommodations, including hotels, hostels, guest houses, B&B, and self-catering properties. Based on current rates, that equates to an average of €4.83 per night. I guess that's 4.83 euros per night. Okay, somebody got to help me out. How do you, hey, Mike, how do you properly say that? 4.83 euros. 4 euros and 83. I don't know how to say it. I stumbled all over that. I don't remember. Not sure I heard it said that way. But anyway, you get the idea of what it's going to cost, you know. The cruise industry is mourning the loss of Captain Geir Arne Thu Nielsen, a widely admired and deeply respected figure whose warmth, wisdom, and passion for the sea left an indelible mark on Seabourn and all who sailed with him. The sad news was shared by his wife, Juvi Thu Nielsen, who described him as a beloved husband, father, and captain. Captain Geir Arne, known to many as Captain G.A., was more than a commanding officer. He was a mentor, a friend, and above all, deeply compassionate human being. He sailed across the world with a spirit that inspired both his crew and guests. He's remembered for his kind and gentle heart, his deep love for the sea and animals, and his passion for racing. He had a warm sense of humor, and as captain, he was both knowledgeable and deeply committed, always looking after his crew with their well-being in mind. Above all, he was a loving husband and father, loved, respected, and remembered. He is now resting in peace. And we're going to end the news portion of today's show with the little tribute there to Captain G.A. I didn't know him, but I've chatted with a couple people that did. And he was really well loved and well respected across multiple lines, not just with Seabourn. Other quote unquote competitors considered him a friend as well. All right, let's go over and see who's fussing at me in the chat room. I'm sure somebody is. Gretchen's with us. Hi, Gretchen. There's Mike. Pleased you enjoyed the Motown show. Yeah, it was great. Nancy says, how are you doing today? Doing great, Nancy. Thank you. Cindy Lee is with us. Good morning, Sim. Oh, that looks like a nice theater. Yeah, it really was. And what they did, Cindy, yes, I was in the back row. I'm used to that. But they completely took a seat out, and I had not only room for my chair, I probably had 6 to 8 inches on each side. So, I mean, I wasn't, closed in at all, which made it really comfortable for me. Chatted a little bit with, there was 2 ladies on my left that were from Russburg. maybe a little younger than I am, but not much. I mean, there wasn't many. This was a crowd of our age people, folks. It was, you know, there was a lot of retirees in there, but they were boogieing. It was great. It was so much fun. Roger's with us down in Jacksonville. Good morning from daughter's birthday. Well, happy birthday. There's Katie. Katie's up in Martha's Vineyard. See any sharks lately? Hope you had an awesome time at the concert, Chillie. I did. It was terrific. There's Todd. Good morning, Todd. Katie says, no sharks. No sharks. Don't forget that a lot of the shark stuff is fictional. Yes, there are sharks, but they've had a lot of Jaws on TV and focus on the vineyard. Well, yeah, that's good. Bob's with us. Says, good morning, all. Hot one today. Yeah, it's going to be hot here too. I have to go to the pulmonologist tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to leave my chair loaded so I don't have to go out, right after I do the show and try to load my chair up. I'm going to get my brother-in-law just to move my car out to the little parking lot like we have. And then when I get ready to go tomorrow afternoon, I'll ride my other chair out to the car and I can just sit there in the yard till I get home. But yeah, so then I'll have to worry about getting the second chair back in the garage, but that's okay too. But it's just, 95, 98 degrees, it's going to be 100 one day. I don't need to be out there loading up the chair. I might be out there sitting by the pool, but Gretchen says, so hot. We walked the dog at 6 a.m. I don't blame you. Low 80s for Katie, but in the high 90s on the mainland, so I'm very fortunate. Yeah, that's a lot better. We have an AC window unit upstairs, but not downstairs. Fans and breeze are making it comfortable. Good, Katie, that's nice. Hello from I-95 southbound. Just arrived in Florida and stopped at the Welcome Center. Hi, Roger, says hi there, Tom. Chillie, Johannesburg is oh, I know that. Johannesburg is landlocked and not a port. Are we really talking about Cape Town? Yes, we're talking about Cape Town. My bad, Tom. I didn't have it in the script in front of me because what I wanted to load up, I couldn't get loaded and got frustrated. Yes, we're talking about Cape Town, not Johannesburg. 89 degrees in northern Florida, Katie. Tom and Cindy, birthday girl at the beauty salon. Sam is scuba diving at First Augustine right now. Cool. €4.38. Thank you, Mike. So it is cents. Okay. I won't screw that up next time. Thanks, Mike. I'm glad you guys keep me straight. When seeing London, what is the best neighborhood? Well, man, that's hard to go on that. I don't remember what it's called, but where they have the changing of the guard and stuff. That to me was interesting. There's a nice park there. It's not that far from the main road and shopping areas. Yeah, I mean, you got to do the touristy things, at least some of them. I did not get to the cathedral, which I would like to have done that. I would like to have, I would like to have gone to the Louvre in France, and we didn't get to do that. We didn't have enough time. And of course, we had crappy weather too. So, near the river doing research for my MSC Virtuoso cruise, staying 4 to 5 days pre-cruise. Yeah, I would definitely be along the river because you can, yeah, a nice river cruise. We did a river cruise that was nice. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Gretchen was in Mayfair. Yeah, that's the nice area. Loved it, she said. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I tell you what's probably on my agenda this afternoon is a nap. So, definitely feeling last night, this morning. I haven't been real energetic, but there wasn't a whole lot to put the show together today. So that's one thing. All right, guys. That's going to wrap me up for today. I will be back here, same time, same channel on Wednesday. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a phenomenal Monday, a great week. I'll see everybody Wednesday if I don't see you before then. See y'all next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.